Welcome back to Harlots of Spook Talk, the place where we stir the cauldron of all things eerie, chilling, and downright spooky. Tonight we're unraveling one of humanity's oldest fears: witchcraft, curses, and hexes.
From the shadowy past of ancient magic and infamous witch trials, to cursed objects that refuse to rest, and even the dark folklore that still creeps through our culture, witchcraft has always carried a mix of fear, fascination, and mystery.
And let's not forget the modern side, witchy TikToks, viral hexes, and the lingering belief that one whispered curse can change your life. Tonight, we'll explore history, legends, and maybe even share a few cursed stories that'll make you question what's real and what's not.
So grab your salt, light a candle, and join us, because this episode of Harlots of Spook Talk is bound to be spellbinding.
Tonight oh my goodness, I'm going to give you a brief history of witchcraft. So tonight we are taking you into the mysterious world of witchcraft, a practice that can be feared, celebrated, or misunderstood. Which, yeah, no comment. Okay, so just kind of going back a little bit, witchcraft dates back thousands of years. That ties to ancient pagan religions, folk practices. Early witches were known to be healers, midwives, or wise women who used herbs, charms, or rituals to help their community. If you watched Outlander, you would know this. But don't tell me what happens, because I'm deep into season 7 right now, and Lord have mercy. Anyways, back to it. The Middle Ages. Okay, so during that in Europe, the church began to associate witchcraft with the devil. He was feared. It was obviously everybody was like freaking out. They're scared. Just kind of just spread like wildfire. That led to witch hunts, trials, executions, and you heard of the infamous Salem witch trials in 1692. And that's one of kind of like the darkest example of it. Like, not to go down that road, but yeah, here we are. So even though Europe's perceptions were far more widespread and deadly. Now, let's come forward a little bit. That's just brief. We're keeping it simple here today. So by the 20th century, the fear faded and witchcraft evolved into 1950s. Gerald Gardner introduced Wicca, a modern pagan religion that celebrated nature, the seasons, and magical practice, reclaiming the title of witch as something empowering rather than evil. Right? So we know. That's cool, right? Yeah. I'm talking to myself. It's fine.
I'm learning, so sitting here listening.
So it's like, today, witchcraft is actually performed in many forms. Wicca to folk magic to eclectic modern traditions, and that remains a symbol. Supposedly, it remains a symbol of rebellion, empowerment, and a connection to the unseen forces of the world, which I actually learned yesterday that's eco-paganism, right? So, anyways, so whether you have seen as like a dark art and healing craft or spiritual path, witchcraft has left a powerful mark on human history, and it continues to evolve in fascinating ways.
Throughout history, whispers of curses have haunted kings, families, and ordinary people alike. Were these just coincidences or signs of something darker? So I'm going to go through 3, of these little history lessons, because I like history lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So I love history. Shush. So the first one I found was about King Tut? King Tut's tomb. That's how you say it, right? I don't want to butcher that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
Because I see like his last name's longer, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to say that whole thing.
Yeah, y'all remember King Tut. That was a thing. Mm-hmm.
Shut up. So This is in 1922. Um, it was a monumental event in archaeological. I can't even say the name. Archaeology
Yes.
reveals the most
Yes.
well preserved tomb in Egypt's Valley of the Kings. However, the aftermath of this discovery was marked by a series of mysterious deaths and illnesses, leading to the widespread belief in a curse associated with the tomb. Um, oh, the first known victim of the curse was George Herbert, who died from blood poisoning shortly after the tomb was opened. Oh, that's so scary. Oh,
Yeah, like there was that infection on there
I'm just
too.
I'm
That's
just
what.
learning as I'm
Yeah.
reading, so bear with me.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Was that his name? Why does it say fifth Earl of What is Carnarvon?
Okay. Can we start
Okay,
No,
over?
the fifth
I
Earl,
was.
that's his name is what you said, but he was the fifth Earl.
Yeah.
It's a title. Like
oh,
kings, queens, dukes. It's the
I
fifth
didn't
Earl.
know.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. That's all I asked.
Yeah, ain't that cool? Like,
Hmm.
you know what I mean?
So yes, that's all I got on him. Okay, so this other one is my favorite, kind of. It's the Bell Witch of the 1800s from Tennessee.
Oh
From
yeah.
Tennessee, okay? So the legend is a chilling tale of supernatural events that plagued the Bell family in Tennessee during the early 19th century. The entity known as the Bell Witch is said to have possessed a sinister intelligence capable of communicating moving objects and even enacting violence. The haunting began in 1817 when John Bell witnessed the apparition of a strange creature resembling a dog with the head of a rabbit. The family's experiences escalated with strange sounds, visible apparitions, and even physical violence. The Bell Witch's activities included knocking, pulling blankets, and even murder, leading to the tragic death of John Bell in 1820. The legend remains a significant part of Tennessee's cultural history and continuing to intrigue ghost hunters and paranormal investigators. That was long. But is this exactly like the Bell Witch Project? No, that was the Blair
No.
Witch Project. Oh,
American
Right.
remember the movie American Haunting?
yes.
That's it.
Okay,
That's that.
that's the one. Okay, so let's move on to my third history lesson of the night. Um, this is the Kennedy family curse. So let me try to. So it's a series of deaths and accidents, assassinations, and other calamities involving members of the American Kennedy family. The alleged curse has primarily struck the descendants of businessmen John P. Kennedy Sr., but it has also affected family, friends, associates, and other relatives. Political assassinations and plane crashes have been the most common manifestations of the curse. Um, oh, following what is that? Some incident in 1969, Ted Kennedy is quoted saying he questioned if someone of some awful curse did actually hang over all the Kennedys. However, skeptics argue that it is not improbable for a large extended family to experience similar events over the course of several generations. I don't know. There's like a whole bunch of lists going, like starting from August 12th of 1944, and it goes all the way to like April 2nd of 2020.
It's a long curse.
Yeah. So, I mean,
If you believe in curses.
I do. I do. I'm just saying that's just crazy.
It is.
I don't know if I believe in curses.
That's just the backstory on them.
Interesting.
Hello, back. We're going to be doing dark folklore and cursed places. The first up is Hell's Gate Bridge in Alabama. Refers to the abandoned haunted Hell's Gate Bridge in Oxford, Alabama, known for urban legends surrounding a ghostly couple. Fiery gates of hell. The historic Pratt Truss Bridge, once a key link south of I-20, is now blocked off the vehicles due to safety concerns, but people still visit the site and take pictures of it. Now, the name stems from local legends, not the bridge's actual appearance itself. One story claims that if you stop on the bridge, turn off the lights, you'll see a ghostly couple who were involved in a fatal car accident on the bridge and leave a wet spot in your car. Not in a good way either. Another legend suggests that looking behind you on the bridge can give you a glimpse of the fiery gates of hell themselves. Now, like I said, you can visit this spot. It is inaccessible by car, but by foot you may. You can reach it by going through the park via a short hike from Leah Smith Parkway. Be aware that walking on the bridge is not recommended. Repeat, not recommended for safety concerns. It's also no trespassing signs, so go at your own risk. Next up is Crying Boy Painting. Now, this one kind of gives me a little like shiver if you ever seen the Crying Boy paintings. It's a series of mass-produced prints of paintings by Italian artists that depicted tearful young boys and girls. The series gained widespread notoriety in an urban legend of a curse in the 1980s. After British tabloids reported numerous house fires where the paintings remained undamaged despite homes being destroyed. This led to paranormal of the and then mass production of the prints because fear sells. Now the problem with this curse is though they try to debunk it a couple times because the paintings themselves are made of fire retardant materials. So when they said go ablaze, but some people are saying nah, with that type of heat it still should have. So that's the Crying Boy painting. The last on this little list is the Hope Diamond. Now this one gets to me every time. It's a legend belief that Hope Diamond brings misfortune to all its owners, stemming from a story that the gem was stolen from an idol and then passed through its owners who suffered tragic fates like beheadings and bankruptcy. Theft of the idol. The legend states a diamond was stolen from an idol in India by 17th century French merchant, who was then cursed by priests. Why he discovered the original large blue diamond, he actually lived to an old age, and the curse stories actually fabricated from this. As they cut this diamond down and passed it along to the new owners, King Louis and Mary Antoinette both owned the diamond, and both were beheaded during the French Revolution. Then you got the princess. She was a friend of Marie Antoinette's, was reportedly beaten to by a French mob. Then the next, it gets dark. Nicholas, the French official, allegedly wore the diamond for a special occasion before falling out of favor with King Louis and being imprisoned for life. Then the diamond last private owner, her family experienced several tragedies, including the unaliving of her son and her husband and a mental breakdown, and then her own life being taken. Now, this diamond also went on to little, like I said, they cut it down and it went through different properties. So that is the little Hope Diamond curse, which like I said, if you get into these, it'll take you a rabbit hole you wouldn't believe. Now, I'm going to
Mm.
go over a little quick curse, little local legend from where I grew up. I grew up in a little town, and right next to our town, we had a state hospital. And you can get through it, walking railroad tracks and stuff like that. Next to the how can I explain? Next to the mental asylum and the railroad was a meat locker. Back in the day, they used to keep meat in the hills. Like they would dig into a mountain and keep the meat. Well, the local legend is that there was once a male witch that lived on the premises and would take little children into the meat locker and do sacrifices with them. So over the years, the local legend got passed down, and kids being kids dared each other to go into the meat locker. Unbeknownst to most of these kids, what was happening is the meat locker itself had this wooden flooring that was deteriorating, and a couple deaths occurred from this and falling through the floor, not being found, so on and so on. So that's just a little local legend with a cursed little meat locker itself. So that is the segment for dark folklore and cursed places.
So witches aren't just figures in the past. Even in today's digital world, fear of curses and hexes are alive and well, and sometimes they just spread faster than ever, right? So, TikTok. Um, okay, so let's talk about it. So, TikTok or Hex the Moon, this started in 2020, as you'll come to realize everybody is a witch. Um, so in 2020, a strange feud erupted on TikTok. So witches on TikTok, um, or a, y'all, I'm sure y'all remember this. I'm absolutely certain y'all have to. So a group of self-proclaimed baby witches announced that they had hexed the moon, and they even threatened to curse the sun. I have no comment. The backlash was pretty quick. Other witches warned of cosmic consequences, claiming the entire magical community could feel the fallout, whether serious or not. It showed how our motto, it just showed modern witchcraft and the fear of curses still sparks the drama today. And I'm sorry, I know y'all remember this because I remember this. And I was like, why is everybody a witch all of a sudden? But I always said I'm not a witch. I'm like, but I have fun. There's difference. I'm spiritual. Okay, so there is fear of curses in relationships. Curses don't just stay in the stars, they can hit close to home. Love spells gone wrong, revenge rituals, even breakup curses are common in theme witchy cycles. People still fear that former partner might have a bound to their luck, their love, and their happiness with a hex. Whether or not the magic is real, fear itself is powerful. And I know y'all have at least one friend, minimum, that be doing those witchy love spells, those witchy hexes. I do know. Anyways, I'm just kidding. I love you.
I was talking about you, but
Oh, me? I don't do.
yeah,
See, I don't do hexes, and I
I
don't
should have
do
went
stuff
that. There you go. Just
because it always backfires on me. That's why I'm scared to do money spells, because last time I did, I asked for $1,200, and this was 4 or 5 years ago, and then I didn't have $1,200. Lost all my income. I didn't get any income for 3 months, and then it finally came in a check of $1,200, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm never doing that again.
but you asked for it. It came.
Yeah, and I lost all my income for 3 months. I suffered. But yeah, so the psychological of curses, that brings us to the psychology of it all, right? The nocebo effect, it's kind of like the placebo effect. You know how that can like heal, but the nocebo effect can cause harm. So if you truly believe that you're cursed, you may start to notice every streak of bad luck, every accident, every misstep as proof. In other words, belief alone can make a curse feel terrifying. Like real. It's like I'm really back on this. Like you really can speak stuff into existence. And it's such a thing, like
Mhm.
um
Agree.
it's wild. Like how we are a lot more powerful than we believe we are, whether you're like a witch or not, or you're spiritual or religious. That's why it's like negativity is such like it's like a sneeze or like a the
Mhm.
plague. You know, when you're speaking like negativity in the world, you're going to get negativity. And of course, it's going to feel like a hex or a curse because you're just being, and that's why I'm like, you have to be nice to yourself. Otherwise, you're just putting poison in. But this is turning into a rant. Sorry. I don't know. Um, but, anyways, I have a story for y'all, real quick. It's called The Road That Whispers. So, of course, no modern tale of curses is complete without a legend. Drivers in small town America tell of a stretch of highway known as the Road That Whispers. So late at night, if you roll down your window, you'll hear a faint voices calling your name. Some say it is a curse. Ignore the whispers, and you're safe. But answer back, and your car might not make it to the end of the road. So yeah. So
Oh,
whether yeah, it's kind of short. So whether it's hexing the moon, fearing the wrath of an ex, or power of belief itself, modern witchy fears prove that curses aren't just old folklore, and they're still haunting us right now. I mean,
that's
like,
that.
huh?
I said that's that.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I think like old like religion, they're like witchcraft is so bad, but I'm like, it's not always what you think.
Yeah, it's not.
So we travel through history of witchcraft from ancient fears to real historical trials, from cursed objects and story that still haunt us today. Whether curses are real or just powerful belief, one thing certain, they've left their mark on human history. Rawr. So thanks for joining us on Harlots of Spook Talk. Don't forget to share your own stories with us on harlotsofspooktalk@gmail.com. Until next time, stay spooky and maybe don't touch that locket you found buried on the floorboards. Okay, thanks.
Blessed be.